My name is Ira Grissom. My grandfather's name was Isaac Roland Grissom. He came here from North Carolina way back, I don't remember what year, but he raised 5 boys. My dad was named Ira Grissom, and he had 4 brothers: John Grissom, Willie Grissom, Newt Grissom, and Vester Grissom. And he owned a lot of land here, got in possession of it some way, and he gave the boys, when they'd get ready to marry, he gave them all a plot of land to clear up and build them a house on, and all. When they'd take a notion to marry, well, he'd give them all a home. And they all settled in less than 2 miles apart. And then they raised families. Each one of them did, and then their children raised families, and it become a Grissom Settlement. And Isaac Robertus had a grist mill put in on Gum Creek, and he ground meal for a while, and then he added to it, put a sawmill, and he'd saw lumber out of big pine trees. And some of these boys would build them a home out of lumber that was sawed on that mill. Then later on, he put in a gin, and this gin would gin about a bale a day, and you had to unload it. Didn't have no suction. You had to unload it in a basket and then carry it to the press, drop it in the press. And then us boys then had to get down in there and tromp it to get it pressed where it would hold the bale. And we had a lot of fun with that. But later on, they put in a steam sawmill right below the grist mill, and they sawed a lot of timber, made lumber out of it. I guess the rest of the boys got their lumber out of this steam sawmill and built them a house. So they raised big families, and there was a lot of Grissoms that lived right there in that community, in the Mount Zion community. And that's where us children, Ira Grissom's family, got their schooling, most of it. And then when I become about 17 and a half, well, I fell in love with a Davis girl, Joab Davis girl, married her. Then we raised a family. We married in 1916, January the 30th. And we raised a family there, and a lot of my cousins raised families, and it wasn't long till we had a lot of Grissom living right around there in that community. And they got to call it the Grissom Settlement. And when anybody strange would come in here, know anything about it, they'd want to know where that Grissom Settlement was. And it was known by that. And there was a lot of things happened to knock the boys back in their way of living. We had to get out, and Dad would take a big 7-foot saw and saw those big heart pines down, cut them in short lengths where they could pile them together and burn them, and that clearing up his land before he could ever have any land to cultivate. And us boys would have a lot of fun with them. They'd have log rolling, they called it, and quilted. And the women folks would come and quilt. And the men folks would roll those logs together, set them afire and burn them. And we'd have to mend them up from day to day for some time before they'd ever be burnt up. And
how did y'all court back then, Mama? You and Mama, y'all started courting. How did you do that back then? How did y'all date? What was the typical date like?
Well, we just had to, I had to do the walking to go to see the girl, and the only way I could get to talk to her was on Sunday, and unless we was at meeting, they wouldn't let us go nowhere together. We had to stay right there and be with the home folks. And she had a sister, one of my cousins. We went together over there, and he married one of the girls, and I married the other. And we had a lot of fun, though, if it was worrisome on us. We didn't get to do like the boys does today. Altogether different.
When's the first time you can remember seeing an airplane? When's the first time, or let's say a car, when's the first time you can remember seeing a car?
I was about 7 years old, having a tooth pulled, and someone, the dentist told me, said if you was upstairs where we was having the tooth pulled, and I didn't want to have it pulled. That scared me, and he told me if I'd let him pull it, why, I said they'd let me go one of them windows, and I could see an automobile go down the street. So I let him pull it, and sure enough, after he got it pulled, why, I went and stood at the window a little bit, and here come one of them Ford cars down, first car that I ever saw. And the wheels looked to me like was loose on there, and just wobbling. He was missing the mud holes and things, trying to get down the street. And it looked funny to see those front wheels move that way, and I'd think, well, how does he do that? I've been used to driving mules, you know, and things, and I know how to do that, but I didn't know how to, one of them things could be done that way.